This image has been the Kansas City Chiefs over the course of the 2024 season. They've been in waiting, contemplating, waiting for that right moment where they can start to really play football. That happened a few weeks ago when the playoffs arrived. They were the number one seed. They defeated the Houston Texans. They came into the AFC Championship game against the Bills, and they beat them to go on to a third straight Super Bowl, looking to become the first team ever to win three straight. This is the time. It's time for this offense to get going. We saw against the Bills, the Chiefs isolate some players in space, attacking the Bills with multiple players. Hollywood Brown to start. Juju Smith-Schuster had a big game. And this guy right here had the best game of his career against the team that the Chiefs used to trade up to go and get him. We're going to talk about how the Chiefs were able to attack the Bills and what they can use from this game against Buffalo, against those Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, right here on RGR. I don't know about you guys, but I am really pumped up. I'm excited about this whole week. We get to wait a little bit longer. It's frustrating to have to wait, but I know the players are just as excited as the fans are, chasing history. They're not going to tell you about history. They're going to tell you about one more game, and that's the kind of mindset that I want to see. Welcome into the RGR Football Channel, everybody. My name is Daniel Harms, senior film analyst, and like I said, today we are talking about the offense, how they were able to put up their biggest point total of the season against the Bills, and some things that they can take away to really execute against those Philadelphia Eagles. If you are new to the channel, please hit that sub button right now, become a member here at Rogue Nation, and then allow me to earn a like as we dive into the tape and get into what those Kansas City Chiefs can continue to do to get better and how they attacked right off the start here. We've talked about this all season long. The return of the RPO game for Kansas City, that's been a huge boost to their offense. And when you're coming out in this zone formation, you know, Patrick Mahomes is going to create some things for you. This is what it's all about. The pre-snap motion. They're going to send Xavier Worthy in motion right here. And what that does is it backs off the defense. Here, you see how they rotate out. And what does that do? It creates a big void right here, specifically because they're going to hold the linebackers in the middle of the defense, again, with that play action pass. So it creates that void in the seam of the defense where Patrick can just watch the void go. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. There's that safety popping out. There's that space in the middle of the field. And here we go. Eyes on the backfield right here. We talked about in the game plan how the Buffalo Bills defense was very aggressive with their linebackers, getting downhill because they are not the best in the front four at stopping the run. So eyes go downhill quickly. Patrick understands that. And again, they did a really nice job holding players to the outside and then taking advantage with those RPO games. Really, first down here, they went right back to it, to Hollywood Brown as well. And when you're able to do that and create space, using that space for your offense from the defense is given to you as well, you force them to play a different way than they want to. And honestly, the Chiefs continue to do this to great effect. Here is one to Juju Smith-Schuster where they're going to bump Travis Kelce out. We see that shifting of the defense once again. This time it's going to be a little bit different. They'll bump out just a little bit, but watch Xavier Worthy down here, who's going to be motioning after the snap. Not necessarily the same way, but it's more of the route he runs, a clear path right there. It keeps those defensive players, again, their eyes on the underneath route. So you have play action from Kareem Hunt, eyes here. Eyes are here, right? They're always looking here. So this middle linebacker right here isn't getting into his depth right away, even with the ball coming out, because you never know where this is going to go. If it's going to go to Xavier Worthy in the flat, that's what the Chiefs are hoping on. It's what they bet on, because right here you have that little initial stem from Juju Smith-Schuster, and then he's going to pop here in the middle of the field, and Mahomes is going to deliver a really nice throw over that linebacker to Juju, where he's able to stop and get upfield into space. So pre-snap motioning is very important, not just for this offense, but for the NFL. You get pre-snap indicators, which we are going to talk about here in a little bit. And for those of you who don't really understand the pre-snap motion, what it gives you, like I said, we're going to dive into that specifically here. It gives you space against zone coverage. You identify where that space is going to be, and that's why you see the RPO having that effect. You are designing a play specifically to open up space. So you have those pre-snap motions. They are right before the snap, and that forces defenses to have to move. And that's what I like about what they did with the RPO game so early in that football game against the Bills. You can still do a lot of that. The Eagles are going to play a good amount of zone. I do think that they do a nice job of showcasing man coverage before the snap and playing zone behind it post snap. That's something that Chiefs will have to watch out for on tape. But they added a little wrinkle. They didn't do it a ton, but I noticed early in the football game on some of these play action routes or these route concepts that they did where they run play action and they look at zone right here. They'll take one of the guards and move them out. They create a little bit more of a free pocket for Patrick. This time on second down, he's able to get a first down, rushing out to his right. I think that created some rushing lanes that the Chiefs were maybe hoping they were able to do because Buffalo has played a lot against Patrick Mahomes, and they usually do a nice job of keeping him in his rush pass. But when you move the pocket around, you start moving offensive linemen, you're going to create some natural running lanes. So again, they moved the offensive line this way initially, right? So you have a free rusher off this side on purpose, unblocked player, with the defense also moving this way because Patrick's going that way as well. And then you have this free lane because of Mike Caliendo coming around to make sure he gets a body on him. And then Patrick's able to, again, take this out to this right-hand side B gap or A gap, C gap. I'm just going to name all the gaps, no problem. And then he's able to get a first down. So would I have liked him to throw the football here? Yeah, I think there was a point in the play where you have an open player where he's coming right here. I believe down here you have somebody open, but either way, you got Hollywood Brown there too. Gets first down, keeps chains moving, no way, no problem. And here they do the same thing this time with Trey Smith. Trey Smith on that play action is going to stop, go to his right first, and then come out to his left and just try to find a block. Look where you've got the blitz here. So they get the Bills in a man cover blitz. Right here, you've got tons of players at the line of scrimmage. Also, Travis Kelce staying into block gives you a little bit of one-on-one down the field. So it's man-on-man, right? You've got deep, high safety one. Then you got man-on-man here. So there's one player, Hollywood Brown, that's in the right spot. And unfortunately, this is just a really great play from Christian Benford. And it's a tough catch no matter what. But what I liked about it is that gave the Chiefs opportunities in the pocket, specifically Patrick Mahomes, time to throw the football downfield. It was a good play. They were able to get what they wanted to. You've got Travis Kelce leaking out late as an option, but this is just a really nice play from Christian Benford. Again, unfortunate he was unable to finish the game. Would have been a much different game, I think, how it turned out with him. He's such a fantastic player. Maybe not in the end all be all that he's all that important to how it would have turned out. I still think the Chiefs would have won. They moved the ball pretty well with him on the field regardless. But overall, you see early on the way that they adapted their offense with the RPO and then moving the pocket every now and then and adding that little bit of movement to how the offensive linemen were adjusting. I think that's something you'll also probably see from time to time against the Eagles. One thing that we haven't really seen really for the large portion of the last couple of years has been a running back with real vision. Like they just have not had that guy. Isaiah Pacheco has been everything they wanted him to be, an explosive runner. When he gets into space, he can take things for big plays. When your offensive line is having some trouble creating huge plays for you, huge gaps for you, there's going to be some issues. And one thing that we know about Kareem Hunt is that he is not the explosive runner he used to be. But here, the Chiefs are going to use a little bit of jet motion from Xavier Worthy. And this is almost like a pin and pull play where instead of two blockers coming out, it's only going to be Trey Smith, but you get a block down here. And then you also have the offensive line shifting to the middle. It's like they're trying to mug up the middle and get Trey Smith out to the right-hand side to be able to block this. Here, you see they create like a huge mush in the middle of this offensive line to try to allow Kareem Hunt some space. So you get that block outside and look at Creed Humphrey here. Comes off of that mush in the middle and finds a body. He doesn't get the block, but you watch what he does. He puts himself in between in between the rush of the defender and Kareem Hunt, who stops and gets up underneath that block. That's the kind of vision you want to be able to see the player coming through here. Honestly, this is Isaiah Pacheco. He's going here. He's not stopping to get around here because that's just not his game. He doesn't have that feel, that running back feel. Nice jump cut there from Kareem Hunt, and then a really nice tackle from Cole Bishop here. And you see Kareem Hunt's really frustrated. He wanted to break that tackle real bad. But this is the kind of stuff that changes the complexion of the offense. Did they have a great day running the football? I think in the second and third quarters, no, they had some trouble. But later in the fourth quarter, Kareem Hunt comes back, a couple of big plays. This one here in the first quarter, we're going to see the rush touchdown after this. This is how The Kareem Hunt effect has changed the run game for the Chiefs. Here they come out in that diamond formation, full house, whatever you want to call it, and they run counter, but they run it differently. It's going to be GT. So you've got the right guard here, Trey Smith, and Jawan Taylor going to counter this way, but they're going to lead block with both tight ends out of this full house formation this way. And watch the defense, watch the second level, what they're able to do with these players right here, because that's all these movement games are, right? You motion from one to the other, then you lead block with both. And then look, you've got defensive players here. He comes around. He's coming down here as well. You have one player coming here and the rest of them coming around because they are following those tight ends that are coming this way, and they forget the offensive linemen that are coming, and Kareem Hunt just gets in there, makes a play, then makes a man miss. That's one thing they did really well in this game. Buffalo was a very good tackling football team. Predominantly, they've been a very good tackling football team for a long time. This game, they forced a lot of missed tackles, those first ones. And this one, they did that with movement and creating better angles for your rushers or your ball carriers, whatever you want to call it. Here, again, there's that movement. They create all that problem, and you get three different second and third level defenders rushing with the movement instead of having them go after the running back. So right here, we are going to take a little bit of a pause and talk about Underdog, you guys. This is one of our favorite sponsors. We very much appreciate them being here, being a part of what we do at RGR Football. Make sure you guys use the code RGR on sign up to not only get a free pick for these pick'ems, but you're going to get what's this right here, this big game, no sweat, $10 max. You can put in your players right here. You see right here, what is a no sweat token? A no sweat token returns your entry fee and bonus credit, so that you just put this in here and you're able to make your own pick'em, and then that's going to come back to you if you don't get it. But we are going to talk right now about some of the things that I love. We have been hot with the Kareem Hunt rushing touchdown higher every single game, and they continue to disrespect the Kareem Hunt rushing touchdown. 0.5 rushing touchdowns, higher 1.31 multiplier. We are going to start the entry right there. It is the number one thing that I always find. I always go to this because of that right there. And plus, with this, we can build this out. We can put this in here right there. Big game, no sweat promo. That means no matter what, this $10, it is a max of 10, no big deal there. This max of 10 is coming right back to us. So we're going to create this pick'em slip right here with 1.3 times on the 0.5 rushing touchdowns for Kareem Hunt. We're going to start there. And then we're going to get over here to the rushing side because Patrick loves to take off. Now, I'm going to be interested to see how they handle this because Buffalo, as we're going to get into in a little bit, they spied him a good amount of times. And obviously, with 2 rushing touchdowns, Patrick is more than likely to use his legs in the Super Bowl. I think once again, it would not shock me if we see Patrick Mahomes get another rushing touchdown in this football game, just because of the attention that other players draw. So I think I want to take this one in this game. I know he just came off of a game where he had 2. And yes, you must pick from at least 2 different teams. So we're going to head on over to the other side. I don't see A.J. Brown getting to 70 reception yards. I mean, it just doesn't seem like a great... Get out of here with all of this stuff. Come on, we got to go to the bottom. I don't want any of that. I want to see what his totals were for. All right. So against Washington, both times, those were the only 2 games that he went higher than that. So I think I'm going to take the lower on this one. And I think that's where I want to go with A.J. Brown. That way we get both of those players on either side. And then I want to get to Xavier Worthy right here. We see higher than 6.5 rushing yards. That's usually been a pretty good bet for him. We've also seen him get the ball a lot in these football games. I also think that he's going to be a big X factor in this football game. So right there, we're going to have those 4 players in our pick'em, and we're going to go ahead, put a $10 in there with those 4, and you see what we get with the multiplier. And this is that no sweat. So you can go ahead and hit there right now. You confirm, boom, and we are in. Very much thank Underdog for being a part of RGR. And you guys, make sure you're checking out Underdog and you use the code RGR to sign up. Not only are we talking about that Pick'em's slip right there that I just put together, you're going to get up to $1,000 cash deposit bonus for Underdog. So thank you very much for being a part of us and seeing what we're going to do here as we go forward with Underdog. Now, let's go forward with how the Chiefs attacked this defense. Right here, you see they are empty, 100% receivers out, and they did that to unlock some of the problems that they had, right? If you go 5 wide here, you're bringing Damar Hamlin on somebody, and they attacked him very much, like a lot throughout this football game. They isolated him in space. They created him in some of these situations, right? So he has to come down and be a force multiplier in this coverage. He is now man on man with Xavier Worthy. All right. That's all it is. It comes down to the matchups. They created advantageous matchups. They forced the Bills to play more man coverage because they were just slicing and dicing them in when they got in their zone. So we saw them go to man coverage. And right here, you're going to see the touchdown. Boom. It's all creating space, right? We talk about how you create space, but this is how you do it with man coverage, right? They're going to motion everybody out. You've got clear out route here from Hollywood Brown, basically just running to the fade. And then this is it right here. You line up in this stack formation to get this look from your defense. Going to create 2 players here. What does that do? Well, it allows Juju Smith-Schuster to run his route, but he runs it through players right here instead of open field. And that's the kind of defense that you want to attack, specifically because you're going to have a little bit of timing release here from Xavier Worthy. Come up and out. Boom. He's right into space. That's all it is. Go forward from Juju Smith-Schuster. Xavier Worthy stops right there at the top. He goes to the out. And with Damar Hamlin on him in space, that's a win every single time. Damar Hamlin's not the fastest player in the world, and that's why he plays more in the box. If you get him in the red zone one-on-one with your fastest player, that's a win every single time. Also, when you have that spy, it creates one less person in the flow. Number 43 right here is spying Patrick Mahomes. So the Bills are playing cover 1 man. You got man coverage underneath with a spy, and then only one defender deep in the middle part of the field. So you have one-on-one with Damar Hamlin. This is Patrick Mahomes rushing touchdown, the first one where they had 13 personnel out there, and they basically, once again, attacked Damar Hamlin in space with Patrick Mahomes' legs. So they're going to pull right there. There goes one gray. No, a gray, you're going to have the play action right here as well. Patrick Mahomes is going to, again, keep that football, but it's not really real play action. He doesn't hug it right there. So you've got Xavier Worthy opening up the field here. And then Travis Kelce is going to come in to play here. One thing you're going to notice is I believe it's this defender right here is going to attack downhill to Kareem Hunt first, and then he's going to turn around and look for Travis Kelce. Right there. So Kareem Hunt does a great job on Russo. Boom, block. You got Xavier Worthy out here. All right, space. And then you have this defender who takes himself away from the play because of the threat of Travis Kelce going into the middle part of the defense and into the end zone, where we see him take his eyes off Patrick Mahomes. And that, by default, puts him one-on-one with Damar Hamlin in space. They ran at that side of the field for a reason. That's where Damar Hamlin is. He's going back, and he doesn't have the speed to get downhill to match even Patrick Mahomes getting into the end zone. So they ran at the Damar Hamlin side, motioning players. Again, you see that motion pre-snap adjusts the defense, and they all shift this way. All of them go that way. And once again, we see Damar Hamlin out here essentially by himself. This was not the only kind of ways that they attacked against Damar Hamlin or attacked him specifically, but we do see when he is in space, the Chiefs were very comfortable going after him time after time after time. Now, why did the Chiefs want to get Buffalo in man coverage? They knew they were going to be in third and short, third and manageable all game long, but they also understood that Buffalo, after last year's and some of the years before, where they played a ton of zone and got shredded, would go to more man, specifically because they played it more against Baltimore the week before. So they were already pretty comfortable doing so. The Chiefs are so much better at isolating against man coverage and creating big plays off of it. Here, third down, it's mesh against man coverage. What is mesh? It's a way to get everybody to kind of create natural picks. In essence, you're forcing right here, the Chiefs are in a 4-by-1. 4 receivers, 1 receiver. So you have a lot of defensive players on the left-hand side, only 1 on the right-hand side. You want to attack here. This is what you're looking for. You're creating space, again, for yourself, this time against man coverage. So Xavier Worthy, what's your job? Okay, go attack that safety. We don't want him anywhere near it. We just want you to go run this way. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Travis Kelce, what are you going to do? Well, if you notice where your number 1 receiver is, Hollywood Brown, number 5 is in man coverage on Hollywood Brown. That's Kaiir Elam. You run straight forward, basically. You're going to run into your defender, Damar Hamlin, and you're going to create a natural pick off of this defender who's trying to get Hollywood Brown, who's coming underneath right here. Juju Smith-Schuster, fine, you come this way. We'll take that defender away from there as well, and that leaves 1 player within anywhere close to Hollywood Brown. And see, this is what the traffic it causes right here. Travis Kelce, boom, comes into his player. He's allowed to do that in the first 5 yards. Number 5 already picked. It's already picked. He cannot get to Hollywood Brown. And they just did a great job of isolating him in this game to where there's only the deep safety that can get to him and then create a big play on 3rd down. That natural movement, again, motion or identify right there. It wasn't in the original clip or the excuse me, the view from the sideline or view from above. But right here, you see the Chiefs motioning Xavier Worthy from right to left. That's going to identify your man coverage. Now, I already mentioned it. The Eagles do a really good job of moving defenders as what making it look like man coverage and playing zone behind it. So they will have to pay attention to that. But the Chiefs have built in parts of their offense that are man and zone beaters. Right here, if you've got Xavier Worthy scraping across and it's against zone, he's probably going to be open. But here again, just against that man coverage, they did such a really good job of motioning Xavier Worthy. And once again, we see motioning from right to left from Xavier Worthy. Different formation this time, though. This time, you've got a 2-by-3 formation. So you've got 2 receivers and 3 down here. Kareem Hunt, he's just going to go to the flat, okay? Now, this is another mesh concept where you have Juju Smith-Schuster who's going to just go upfield. Travis Kelce is going to be that drag route up, and you've got Xavier Worthy as the one coming up underneath. And then you've got this little pivot route at the top of your screen from, DeAndre Hopkins. But this is the epitome of that mesh concept, right? You have 2 receivers underneath in the slot that are going to be coming across your face. How did they create such open players? Well, first of all, again, that concept mesh. Travis Kelce comes across here, picks off that defender, going with Xavier Worthy, and he comes underneath. Now, why wasn't he picked? He picked up by this player right here. Oh, that's because he's a spy. Patrick Mahomes, again, gets spied quite a bit. I talked earlier about how they used the spy and how they did it throughout the game. This was a play where they spied Patrick Mahomes on 2nd down, and then they were able to get Xavier Worthy out there into space with that mesh concept. But watch the end zone view. Patrick Mahomes knowing he's going to have what he wants and the pocket management with it. Offensive line does a really nice job. There's no free rushers, but he wants to throw this out now initially quickly, but realizes that defender is going to be able to close on Kareem Hunt. And we know Kareem Hunt isn't great in space, but also defender leaves his feet, hands in the air. So we've got player coming here. So Patrick stops, moves in the pocket against that Ed Oliver right there, just shifts in the pocket to his left and then gets this out to Xavier Worthy for that another big play on this time on 2nd down. This, I had to include this play. This is another one of their man beaters, right? This was the final play of the game for the Chiefs on offense. It is mesh in essence, but it's different. It's a different way to get to it. So they show that bunch personnel on the bottom of the formation, and they move Hollywood Brown and Justin Watson to the left. One, you get that man indication, right? It's exactly what you want. But also, you're forcing communication, right? Everyone has to come over with them, and now you've got problems. Basically, what they do to get Samaje Perine, everyone knows here what's happening. Samaje Perine is releasing through this B gap and just getting to the flat. If you notice, there are no defenders outside of the three that are charged to cover those three receivers out there on the left-hand side. So we know we've got man coverage. Who is the man defender that you're trying to get? You're trying to pick this linebacker. So everybody, Justin Watson on in. Hey, just run this way. Everybody, just run this way. You've got Juju's going to make a clear out this way. And then you're also going to have Hollywood Brown kind of run into this area of the field with this release formation or action from Samaje Perine. This is how you can create so many different things. And again, you communicate. So he passes off knowing he's not going to be able to get to Samaje Perine here. And then 43 is like, oh shit. Look at this. He has to navigate this traffic. He has 6 players that he has to get through before he can get all the way out to Samaje Perine there. He has to slow down. And that's why you see him in space and they're able to get a Samaje Perine that much open and just one man to beat for a first down on 3rd and 10. So really great job of the Chiefs forcing the Bills to play that man coverage and then throwing mesh at them in a bunch of different ways to create chaos. And then on another, hats off to the offensive line, did a really great job in this football game. I know Ed Oliver was kind of creating some chaos early, but when it mattered, I think they did a really nice job of keeping Patrick clean on top of him, moving in the pocket and maintaining what we have seen throughout the postseason, which is just pure excellence. So overall, we look at how the Chiefs were able to attack Buffalo and how can it translate. So you have to play better with the offensive line. They have Jalen Carter, Jaden Davis, not Jaden Davis, but Jordan Davis. And those big guys in the middle are going to be able to create some problems. You have to be able to get the ball out quickly. I think attacking the edges, Xavier Worthy, things like that, you're going to see them do that as well. But also they are very, very aggressive with their corners. They will come downhill. They tackle very well as well. So different things, attacking the middle of the field. We saw that with the RPOs. They can still do that against the Eagles, and they will need Kareem Hunt to run the football. So really, when you find those man coverages that you get, this is how they can attack it early in the game with the RPOs, attacking space. They can do that as well. All of those things come into how they can still use the same types of plays, but just little tweaks here, little tweaks there, adding some zone beating aspects to a mesh concept with Xavier where they're running a deep over route into space and things like that can really have an advantage for them on top of having their creative run game with another week to prepare. We know Andy Reid can get that done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of how the offense was so successful and how these things can lead to more success in the postseason against, those Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, Gary will be back with a video for you guys. Ryan and I will be on Friday. We will have the game plan. It's going to be a bit bigger, longer, have a lot more to it because it is the Super Bowl. So be tuned for that. And then after the Super Bowl on Sunday, we will be live with that reaction video. Hope you guys, again, enjoyed the video and you have a great rest of your day. And we have had tons of content for you leading in to this Super Bowl against the Eagles. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.